Hello, everybody, and welcome to another episode of United Talks podcast. Today, we're going to be talking about the situation with Marcus Rashford. Thank you so much for liking, sharing, and subscribing. Thank you so much for following us through and helping us grow the channel. We're still growing, and we hope that you guys can be a part of this. But thank you so much for liking, sharing, subscribing, hit the notification bell so that you don't miss anything. Right? So, let's get in. So basically, overall, what we can say about it is that Amorim has come up with some statements or come up with a statement with regards to Marcus Rashford in the frame of when after the Fulham game, press asked him a question about why is there about Marcus Rashford basically making it back in the squad, seeing as we don't get enough goals, which I talked about in the 7 takeaways. Seeing as we don't get enough goals, Amorim was asked about Marcus Rashford and Marcus Rashford's situation, and he said, that it is always the same reason as to why he's leaving Marcus Rashford. It's more like a training method and the approach to life and all of that. And the press asked him basically that is there a way back for Marcus Rashford? Like, is there a way back for Marcus Rashford despite being left out of the squad for more than 12 games, basically? And Ruben Amorim stated that he would not put, is basically saying it is the same for every player, but I would rather put the goalkeeper coach, Vital, on the bench than put a player who does not give his everything in training. Training is the most important thing, and it reflects how a player approaches life. He said it is about the little details every day. If things don't change, I won't change. He insisted on I won't change. I mean, he was specific about those words, I won't change, right? And he said it's the same for every player. If you give your best and do the things the right way, we can count on you. So it is very important. He says also about the bench and squad depth. He said you could see we lacked some rhythm on the bench, but I would put Vital, the goalkeeping coach, in before playing someone who doesn't give their all every single day. Which begs a question. What is it that Marcus Rashford could have done to warrant this, basically? I know that everybody wants us to hold our players accountable and all of that. So there is more that meets the eye with this. That's my thought and opinion about this. There's more that meets the eye. So what is it that Marcus Rashford could have done to have warranted being slated like this? Or I know Ruben Amorim is trying to keep it undercover, like trying to keep it within, make it internal. Marcus Rashford also commented on the game last night and all that. He's trying to keep a close lead on it, not to release anything out and all. But what is it that he could have done to be able to warrant being slated? Even though Ruben Amorim stated that it is the same for every player, so he's not leaving anyone out. Now, I'm just going to dive into a little bit of stats about current strikers or forwards and their application. And then we will now go, especially, I'm just going to use only Premier League stats. And then we can now go and dive into the historical perspective of what happened and how we got to this point, especially with Marcus Rashford. Now, I'm going to start with Joshua Zirkzee. He's one of the forwards who plays as an attacking mid and as well as a striker, who calls himself like a 9.5. Joshua Zirkzee, with regards to his stats compared to other forwards, he's had 88 touches percentage, 88% touches. He's had 74% chances created. He's had shot attempts 48%. He's had aerial duels won 31%. He's had 19% goals compared to other forwards and 43% defensive actions. Now, in the Premier League alone, Joshua Zirkzee has 3 goals, 1 assist. He started 8 games. He's played 23 matches in all. Right? 854 minutes played in total. Right? Now, we're going to go straight to Rasmus Højlund. Now, Rasmus Højlund has 2 goals in the Premier League, 0 assists, 13 games started, 18 matches in total, 1,095 minutes played. Right? Now, he's had 12% of touches compared to other forwards. He's had 47% chances created compared to other forwards, very low compared to Zirkzee, who has had 88%. And then 37% aerial duels won, 9% defensive actions, and 55% goals scored compared to other forwards. I think Joshua Zirkzee is 45%, and then shots attempt 4%. Now, with this, you see that we need goals. If not for people like Ahmad, Bruno, even Lisandro Martinez chipping in with goals, and sometimes Alejandro Garnacho, who is also on the radar to be sold, chipping in with goals, our forwards lack no goals. Now, I saw this report as of December 19th, 2024, and it talked about the whole statement about Marcus Rashford and all of that. So I'm going to just try to see if I can give you a brief breakdown as to what we have witnessed, basically. Now, with this, you could tell that there is something going on, even though there's a whole lot reported by the Sun and all that, right? But what we can say, basically, is that Ruben Amorim's handling of the media throughout the turbulent period of Manchester United is impressive over the years, right? It has been impressive. And here are some of the key takeaways, from the situation with Marcus Rashford. Now, in the past, we have seen, this was gotten from Football 365 as of December 19th, 2024. We've had a couple of mixed results. Marcus Rashford has started. So, okay, before that, probably just go straight to stats on Marcus. Then we can now dive into that. For stats with Marcus Rashford, basically, just give me a sec there. Let me get it. So, for Marcus Rashford stats, we will go with, of all the 5 forwards that we have, touches 18%, he's barely played, 25% chances created, shot attempt 51%, better than both, goals 74%, defensive actions 15%, and 38% aerial duels won. He's got 4 goals in the Premier League this season, better than both, 1 assist, 12 started, 15 matches played, 983 minutes in total played. The last game he played for Manchester United was in December. In the Newcastle game, he never started. The last game he actually played was against Victoria Pilsen, December 12th, 2024. So now with the Marcus Rashford situation, we're just going to break it down to 7 points. Now, Amorim has shown masterclass in focus of, deflecting questions when asked. He's always repeatedly called to focus on the team and showcase his clear intent to steer the narrative away from unnecessary distractions. Despite the relentless barrage of questions about Rashford, he remained measured in refusing to let his words spiral into a controversy. His use of focus as a recurring theme reflects his disciplined mindset. Now, one of the things I think that also annoyed Ruben Amorim is his interview. Now, the revelation that Marcus Rashford was considering leaving Manchester United for the first time in his career was always going to dominate headlines, but Amorim's challenge was navigating the media frenzy while maintaining squad harmony. His refusal to overreact in public was calculated move to avoid escalating tensions, and this is in reference to Marcus Rashford saying that he needed a new challenge. I said we should not read so much into it. It's more of a situation where he's saying he needs a new challenge. It could mean that he wants to leave the club. It could also mean that he wants a new challenge in the club, And then, despite the fact that Amorim was trying to compose himself, he was undone by an honest answer when he says his best effort to give a candid response on his final question about how he would handle similar situations as a player inadvertently became the headline. I mean, his simple preference to speak with the manager was twisted into a supposed criticism of Rashford, despite his clear attempts to avoid such an implication. And then it was in reference to an interview that he gave when he said that even in a similar situation as a player, he would go speak with the manager. So does that mean that Rashford did not speak with him? It created media storm, and these guys pounced on it and they held it with everything, right? And then the media narratives are very inevitable when it comes to Marcus Rashford. Yeah, quite all right, given he hasn't shown what the passion he needs to prove that he's a Manchester United player or he's worthy of being in this squad. But then, I'm not saying we should give him special preference or anything, because if you look at it, most of the players, including players like Jadon Sancho, who have left the squad based on, oh, they did this to me, I didn't application in training, blah, 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 blah. They are not pulling trees in Chelsea as well. He's not pulling trees in Chelsea, right? So, I don't know. I'm trying to weigh in from the perspective of Marcus Rashford and also trying to weigh in from the perspective of the club and then try to weigh in from the perspective of Ruben Amorim, right? Now, Amorim's leadership and all that has shown that he can handle situations, but ostracizing Marcus Rashford, not really ostracizing the way Ten Hag did with Jadon Sancho, but kind of like leaving him out, and then the media keeps asking questions. The bigger picture and unity and standards is very key for Ruben Amorim here. Ultimately, Amorim's focus on maintaining team unity and standards speaks volumes about the managerial philosophy. While Rashford's situation is a headline now, his refusal to let it dominate reflects his commitment to building stronger, more disciplined squad. His insistence on moving past distractions is precisely what United needs to climb back to the top. Well, my question again is it really over for Marcus Rashford? Because Ruben Amorim has stated categorically that it is, basically, without really stating anything. He's stated that, in his words, training are the most important things that we need to focus on, and that it has to reflect on how the player approaches life. So, same reason he's saying is the same reason for every player. So if the player is not applying, then the player is going to leave. So, what are your thoughts? Is it really over for Marcus Rashford? I know fans online, just by searching the word Marcus Rashford, fans online are saying they're done. He should leave. He's not putting in effort. He's not applying, nothing. But again, we lack goals. And again, if you want to sell Marcus Rashford, we need to be able to put him in the shop window for other clubs to be able to see the value. Another barrier to all of this is his salary. It has been a big barrier. He's earning high. He's a high earner in the club, and that has also been a big barrier for him. So I really don't know where we can take this to. Everybody have resolved that Marcus Rashford needs to be sold. So my question to you all is, what next? For me, I feel like Marcus Rashford just needs to leave and touch a breather. The media storm has destroyed this player's confidence, and the club also needs to be held responsible for this as well, for how it was dealt with. I mean, Garnacho is playing well and still in the shop window to be sold. Like, he's going to be sold. I mean, today I saw breaking news on Sky Sports that Garnacho is already giving a green light to Napoli. So what does that mean? You take Garnacho out the squad, then the only place we have is Ahmad. That's like how can we deal with this? You play the kids, he's not mature enough to deal with the pressure, boom, his confidence is shattered. How can we deal with it? Do we continue going and trying to stagger to the end of games? It's very important that we think about these things, especially as fans, and how we deal with our own players. Play the kids. So many of the kids have the pace and the tenacity and the technical ability and the maturity to deal with the Manchester United squad as it is right now. When you talk about playing the kids, the positions that are there are limited. limited. I'm talking about one of the 210s play the kids, and when they come to the Premier League, they get smashed in the tackles and all of that. When you're supposed to take your time to build them in, even if you want to let go of Rashford, why don't you play Rashford and then sub some of the kids on, and they start to learn until they build confidence to be able to play in high-level games like this? I mean, that is what they're training for. But this is just simply my opinion. I don't really have a huge say on all these things. All I can say is just give my opinion about the situation. But I think that this Marcus Rashford thing is a big deal. And yeah, I'm hearing that other clubs don't want because the fees are too high and he's pushing to focus on Barcelona. But I think he just needs to take a breather. I think he just needs to take a break from all of this and just go to another club and play. Maybe the French league or something. I know he wants to favor like European clubs and stuff. Maybe the French league. Olympique Lyon, Olympique Marseille, Rennes, or Lille. You know, it has the similar intensity to the Premier League or the Spanish league. Maybe he should go to not just Barcelona. Where can he go? Atletico Madrid? Where? Even Juventus can't sign him again. AC Milan can't sign him because they're signing Kyle Walker or they signed him. Where? Napoli are good. They're about to sign Garnacho. Where? Where? AC Milan, they've signed Kyle Walker, as I said. Inter Milan, they seem like they're good. They don't have the financial muscle to pull that Marcus Rashford deal. So where next? Recently, it was said that he knuckled down and he started training, and he's prepared to be called to the squad. He wants to play. He wants to give his all. That something must have happened. Maybe Rashford said something to Ruben, or Ruben Amorim hated the fact that he said he needed a new challenge. I don't know. What are your thoughts and feelings about this? Do you see a way back for Marcus Rashford despite Amorim's comments? Let me know your thoughts and feelings in the comment section. I know that most fans are saying that it's done. So let me know your thoughts and feelings in the comment section. I'll see you in the next one. Look out for the match preview for the FCSB game in the Europa League, as well as Ruben Amorim's match press conference. Thank you so much for watching. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe, and hit the notification bell for everything Manchester United. And I'll see you on the next one. Take care, goodbye, and God bless.